Alright, welcome back. So let's understand what we are going to learn in this particular section. So the website that you see in front of you is a Nike inspired website. So let me go ahead and show you a preview of this website. So when I go ahead and click on this particular shoes, you can see that it's changing. And at the same time, you can see the slider over here is also changing to that particular shoe. And on the left hand side, you can see the name of the shoes, the price, and the different information about the shoes. Now this effect that you are seeing is called a carousel effect. And we are going to learn how to prototype a website that looks like this. So I'm super excited for this project. Hope you are too. Also want to mention that I do not hold any copyright of the Nike company or a brand, and this is just for educational purpose. And I also recommend that please do not go ahead and sell these materials in the marketplace because it is owned only by Nike. Okay, this is just for educational purpose and it's an inspired website that we are creating. Alright, so without any further ado, let's get into this section. Alright, welcome back. This is the first video of a new section where we are going to learn how to create a Nike inspired carousel website. Actually, let me go ahead and change its name to website instead of app. And this is how I do it. Alright, and I have also collected all the files right over here. This is going to be the design panel. It's right now empty because we are going to design all of the elements inside this panel. Okay, this is the text page. We have got all the texts of all of the products of Nike. These are some of the elements that I have collected. And I'm also going to show you how to create these elements. It's quite easy. So I'm not just going to paste this element into our design panel, but I'm also going to break down each and everything that I am creating. Okay, copying these elements is just to speeden up the process. I do not want you to bore you guys by showing hours long of video. Okay, I just want to show you all the principles, all the important principles on creating this particular website so that the learning process is easier and faster. Okay, and then we are going to use some of these colors that I have created, and we have got the images, icons, and the logo. Let's go back to the Nike design panel and let's start creating our design. Okay, let's start by a desktop, and I'm going to make it into a 1920 by 1080p. Okay, so we've got a 1920 by 1080 panel. Okay, let's go ahead and create a layout grid, but before that let's change its color. Okay, let's go to the color panel and we are going to use this color. I'm going to copy this color. Let's go back to our design panel and let's go ahead and paste this particular color. Or maybe let's go to the color panel and we are going to use these three colors for our design. Okay, I'm going to go over here. First of all, go over here and go to our gradient. Okay, and I'm going to create a gradient design that looks something like this. First color, I'm going to go ahead and paste the color that we have used. Okay, which is this one. And let's go ahead and select the second color from right over here. I'm going to go back to the design, click over here, and I'm going to create one more color right over here, and let's go ahead and paste that color. Finally, our third color is going to be this color. I'm going to copy that and let's go ahead and paste that color right over here. Alright, so this is the design we have created so far. Let's go ahead and give it a rounding of 50 just for the aesthetic purpose. Okay, and after that we are going to go to logo. Let's select this one. Let's go to our design. we're going to paste it right about here. Let me place this logo right about here. And it's going to be right over here. Okay. Let me arrange this logo properly, and I'm going to increase its size to slightly about so much. Okay. All right. And after that, we are going to go ahead and click on over here, and we are going to create a grid. Okay, layout grid. I'm going to keep it as 5 count grid, and let's keep the margin as 50, so that we get the difference of 50 from left and right. All right. And after that, let's go ahead and create our header menus. So to create our header menus, I'm going to copy one of these and let's paste it right over here. Let's reduce its size to slightly about so much, and I'm going to place it right on the top and some more. That's going to be the size of our logo. Let's go ahead and type some text for our header menu. Home. And let's create offers. Let's hit Ctrl D. And we are going to place it right about here. Let's change the text to collections. And finally, these text we are going to change to contact. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and select all of these text, and we are going to create a auto layout out of it by hitting Shift A. Okay. And let's spread it evenly. So this is our text. Let's place it right about here. Let's go to our icons, and we are going to use couple of icons, which are these. Let's go over here and paste it right about here. And we are going to paste it right in the corner. Okay, right over here. Okay. Let's actually create an auto layout, and I'm going to double click on it, and by hitting arrow key on my keyboard, I'm going to shift its position to right about here. Okay. So those are our two elements. Now what I'm going to do is create a search box over here. Let me go ahead and create a search box of about so much size. Okay. I'm going to type search inside this. Okay. Let's select this, and we are going to bring down its color to something like this. I'm going to remove my grid by hitting Shift and G and check the color of it. Kind of want to keep it nearest to the blue color. Okay. Something like this, to the blue tint. Okay. Now once that is done, let me turn on my grid. Let me turn on this, and we're going to move this slightly so much. Let's go to the logo icons actually, and we are going to use this search icon. Let me copy right over here. I'm going to bring it and decrease its size and scale it down and place it right about here. Let me select on these icon, and I'm going to place it right on the top of our rectangle. All right. And I'm going to place this search right over here. Let me click, and I'm going to create a group out of it. Let's go ahead and place it right about here. Let me zoom in and check how it looks. Zoom out slightly. I'm only going to select on the rectangle, reduce its size to slightly about so much, zoom in. I'm going to place these two towards the left end. Alright, so that's our search bar, and let me show you how everything looks so far. This is how it looks. It still looks it's not properly aligned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align these two, and I'm going to create a auto layout out of all of these three elements, and voila, it's going to align it properly. Let's give it some sort of distance, and I'm going to place it further back right over here. So this is how our design looks so far. Okay, it's properly aligned. Now let's go to our shoes. Now let's start by selecting our shoes, but before that I'm going to create an ellipse. It's going to create a dial right over here. Okay, let me hit, and this is going to be the ellipse, and I'm going to place it right about here. Perfect. Let me hit on the arc and check. We have created this arc, and let me pull this circle out, and it's going to give us an effect that looks something like this. Let's go ahead and sweep and join this arc. I'm going to give it a gradient fill, and the whiter part is going to be in the center, and the darker part is going to be right over here. Let's select the second part, and we are going to give it a black color, absolutely black color, and then we are going to create a gradient kind of effect that looks something like this. Perfect. So this is our dial. I'm going to take a circle, and I'm going to place a circle right in the center, right over here. Okay, let's give it an effect as well. Let's give it a drop shadow maybe, and it's going to be a 0 drop shadow. I'm going to increase its spread, and I'm going to increase its blur as well. Well, the spread is a little too big, so we are going to reduce the spread and give it this soft kind of feel for the drop shadow. Okay, as you can see over here. Let me zoom out of it. So this is the design that is created so far. So that is it from this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye and take care. Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to continue where we left off in our previous video. That is, we are going to continue on creating the Nike inspired carousel website. So without any further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, let me go to the images over here, and we are going to select some of the images. Let's select all of these images, and we are going to go ahead and copy it and paste it inside right over here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to place it right about here. Okay, oops. Alright, let's select each of these shoes, and I'm going to align it and place it one below the other. And I'm going to tell you why we are doing this exactly. Okay, just stick with me for a while and you will understand. So once that is done, let us go ahead and select all of these, and we are going to align it properly. Okay, so once that is done, let's go ahead and select the first shoes. Okay, remember we are selecting the first shoes, and we will create a frame out of these shoes. So when we click on this and create a frame, the frame size is going to be exactly the size of this box. Okay, and to do that, you have got two options how you can perform this. Right click and you can go to frame selection, and the second option is Alt Option and G, or Command Option and G. I don't know what it is in the Windows. Please figure it out. I think it's Control or Alt and G, maybe. But this is what I'm going to use. Okay, so let's create a frame. So this is our first frame. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these other 4 images, and I'm going to simultaneously place it inside the frame below the first image. Okay, and it's going to reside inside over here. So let's go ahead and rename this frame. I'm going to rename this as main, Nike main. Okay, alright, let's commit on it. And now what I am going to do is I'm going to select on these shoes only. Okay, and let's give it a tilt of 45 degrees because we want to make it suit our design. Okay, after that, let's go ahead and create a group out of all of these shoes. Okay, and we can do that by hitting Command G on the keyboard, and I think it's Control G in the Windows. Okay, so now what I am going to do is I am going to place it inside this frame. Now as you can see, even our second shoes is visible. How can we not make it visible? Okay, how can we not make the second shoe visible? How can we do that? So we are going to select on the Nike main frame, and we are going to click on clip content, and it's going to hide all of the other shoes, and we'll bring that shoes when we want it inside the frame, which we are going to look into in our further video. Okay, so let me go ahead, select on the frame, and I'm going to place it right over here. Let me now go ahead and zoom in. And I think I like the position. I'll slightly place it right over here. Right over here. Okay, perfect. Alright. So once that is done, let us go ahead and select some more elements. So we have saved some elements, okay, which we are going to select. Okay. But before that, let's go to the text, and we are going to copy all of these text. Okay. And we are going to perform the same operation. Let's go ahead and perform it right over here, and then we are going to take it inside our frame. Okay, so let us click on the first icon, and we are going to create a frame out of it. Once that is done, let us twirl it down, and we are going to select all of these images, going to place all of the text below the first text. Okay, let's select all of the text and create a group out of it. And also we are going to click on clip content. Hope that was understood. Okay, that's not very confusing. Please don't be confused. Okay, if you are getting confused, re-watch it one more time. I'm sure you will definitely understand this. Alright, so let's move forward. So once that is done, what we are going to do is we are going to copy this and place it inside our design frame. And I'm going to place it right over here. Okay, perfect. It looks perfect to me. Let's go to the elements now. And we are going to select the colors elements. Let's copy this. And we are going to place it inside our frame as well. Okay, let's hit space. Okay, it's been copied inside this particular frame. Let's first commit out of that frame, deselect that frame. Okay, and now we are going to paste it. Let's go ahead and hit space. Now when we hit on space, it's going to keep it separated from the selection inside the frame. Okay, so if I don't hit space, it's going to go inside this particular frame. So therefore, to segregate it from inside, going inside this frame, we can hit space and it's going to bring it outside the frame. And this is where I want this element to be. After that, let's go ahead and select this element as well. And we are going to deselect all of the elements, and we are going to paste it right over here. Let's click on it and hit space, and we are going to place it right over here. Okay, so this is the design that we have created so far. It looks good so far. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and copy this element over here, these three elements. Okay, let's go ahead and copy these three elements, and we are going to place it right over here. Let's place it right about here. Okay, looks perfect to me. Okay, now let me show you how to create this element. Now I do not simply want to copy these elements. You know how to create all of these elements, right? It's quite simple. It's just the text and circles, and even this, it's just the text and circles. And here we have removed the opacity. We have seen all of these properties, all of these principles, different ways of creating all these elements in our previous videos as well. So I do not want to actually waste any more time and make it a hour-long video, right? We want to keep it as short as possible and give you the chocolates to eat. Okay, so therefore I did not do, but let me show you how to create this one. Okay, we are going to select a square, rectangle for that matter. Let's create a rectangle from right about here of maybe so much size. Okay, and we are going to double click on it now. Now what it does is it gives us the option to control individual handles, and I am going to push this handle right about here, and even this handle I am going to push it right about here. So this is the shape that we have achieved. Let me align it properly. Okay, all right. Oops, let me zoom in. Align this guy properly. Okay, did we do it perfectly? Okay, now it's aligned properly. Now we are going to hit on done to commit out of it, and we have created a shape that looks something like this. Let's go ahead and give it a gradient color, and we are going to put this over here and this handle to this end. Let's add one more color over here. Let's start with this color. Okay, let's click on this, and you know how to create this. We are going to go to the pink, and let's go ahead and select a pink color. Second color, I think we will go and select a darker blue color. Okay, let's go to the darker blue color, lighter blue color, and the third one is going to be a absolutely dark blue color. Okay, which is going to look something like this. So this is how we have created. Maybe let's go take it to a little lighter part. Okay, and something like this, by tweaking and playing with all the handles, you will get a color that looks something like this. Simultaneously, we have created for all of these three rectangles as well. Hope you understood that. Let me go ahead and delete it. Okay, and after that, what we are going to do is, let me remove the grid and check this design for a while. And let me see if there is anything that we are missing. Okay, we are missing the price of the shoes. Okay, we are going to place this to the bottom over here, and here to right about so much. Okay, and let's create some pricing for this particular shoes. So we are going to create a bunch of prices. So first of all, let's go ahead and check on the number of shoes that we have inside the group. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 5 pricing for 5 different shoes, right? Let's go ahead and create 5 different pricing. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit, And let's create maybe starting from $250. Okay, let's change it to Inter. Let's commit out of it and let's change it to Inter. Okay, and we are going to increase its size to about 36. Okay, let's give it a pricing of 250.90. Okay, that's going to be the first price. Let us duplicate and let's give this as 350. You can give it any pricing that you want. Okay, and maybe this one is on 199. It's in sale maybe. Okay, 199.50 cents, 50 cents. And let's duplicate one more copy and we are going to place it right over here. And this one is going to be maybe 200.30 cents. Okay, let's go ahead and follow the same steps now. Okay, first we will create a frame out of this one. Let's twirl down this frame and we are going to select all of these text and place it inside the frame. Okay, let's go ahead and check, and this one it's going to be price. Okay, let's change all the frames names as well. I'm going to keep this. Okay, let's go ahead and create a frame out of this as well. So we are going to do that, and this frame is going to be the rectangles. Okay, organization is very important. Okay, it might take some time, but make sure that you do your organization properly. Okay, and this group, it's going to be named as size, and let's go ahead and twirl down that group. And this particular group that we have with the colors, it's going to be named as colors circle. Okay, circle. And let's twirl that up, and we've got, let us see, we've got all the texts. Okay, we will continue on arranging, okay, all these things later, but let's first work on this one. Okay, so I'm going to select on the frame and let's click on clip content, and it's going to clip the content as we know how it does. Okay, let's go ahead and place this right about here. Let us zoom in and we are going to place it slightly towards the bottom. We're going to click on this one. And finally, we are going to go to the elements, not elements, I think we are going to go to the images, and we are going to select on all of these three shoes and we are going to paste it right over here. Now let me take this shoes and let me create a copy out of it. I'm going to bring it down in size to about so much. Okay, now we are going to go ahead and create some rectangles. Okay, let me show you how to create these rectangles. Alright, so finally this is how the design looks so far. Let me go ahead and preview this design. Alright, so this is how the design looks so far. So in next video we are going to continue on creating the design, and finally we'll prototype this particular design. So alright, that is it from this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye and take care. Alright, welcome back. It's a new day, it's a new morning, and today we are going to learn everything about slider elements and why we create slider elements in Figma. So without any further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, so all this while, this group of images that we were creating, for example, we have created this frame, Nike main, and we have a group of 5 images. And we have created all those images inside a frame along with clip content. And not just that, we were creating even for the text and any other group of images for that matter. Now, why were we doing this? We were doing this to reduce the repetitiveness in the frame. Okay. So for example, if I go ahead and I'm going to explain it to you right away in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and select a frame. Okay, so this is the size of the frame. Let's go ahead. I'm going to actually remove the fill. This is the frame. Let's actually go ahead and select these 3 images. Let me go back to the original frame, and I'm going to resize these images. Okay. Alright, so that's how I resize this frame. And I've fitted it inside the frame 4. Okay, let us see what's the size of the frame 4. I'm actually going to select on all of these images and move a little towards the bottom, slightly towards the right. Let us check the frame 4. Okay, so we are going to only move this slightly towards the bottom and slightly towards the right side. Let us check how it looks inside the frame. I think it's fine. Okay. So we have created all these 3 images inside our frame 4 along with the clip content. If I click on, turn it off, it's going to show all of the shoes right inside over here. And also if you want to increase the size of the frame, if you do like this, it's sometimes going to resize and cut few elements. Now as you can see, it's squeezing our photo, right? To prevent this particular thing, all you have to do is just hit Command or Control on your keyboard, and then you can freely resize your frame. Okay, so let me actually resize my frame to about so much size. Okay, it's perfect now. Now let's go ahead and click on all of these 3 elements. You can either create a group. Creating a group keeps it more organized. If you want to create a group, it's completely fine. But however, it's inside the frame. But just for the organization purpose, I'm going to create a group out of it. Okay. It is not necessary. It's just to make things cleaner. Okay. Now we have got this particular shoes inside the frame. Let's go ahead and work with only these 3 images. Now, for example, I create a new frame and I want these elements to be over there. And second frame is not going to have the same shoes because it's going to be a different product in a different product page, right? So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this area over here, hit space on my keyboard, and I'm going to move these shoes to this particular shoes. and that is the use of slider elements. It's to create a seamless carousel animation or seamless carousel slider inside your frame. Okay. So if I'm creating a new frame again one more time, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to hit space bar and I'm going to move this shoes to some other shoes. Okay. And this is going to be the slider. So that is it from this video. Hope you understood the concept of sliders. Okay. And that's why we created a group of sliders for these 5 shoes, so that when we copy a new frame, when we create a duplicate of a new frame, we need not have to repetitively copy different photos inside the frame. It's just for the ease of animation. Okay. And reduce the repetitiveness in our design. So hope you understood that. That is it from this video. Namaste ji. Thank you for watching. This is Vish. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye and take care. Alright. Now that you have understood the slider concept, now what we are going to do is, let's go ahead and create some duplicates or copy or instances out of this particular frame. Okay. By hitting Shift Alt on our keyboard. Let me zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to create a couple of copies. And let's check if we have 5 frames available to us. Let's start by designing the second frame. Okay. Let us go ahead and click on this particular frame. We are going to click on all of the images and we are going to click over here in this area. Oops. Okay. I think it selected some other images. On this area over here, hit on space bar on your keyboard and move the slider. Hit Shift so that, okay. So I have just moved the slider, but as you can see, the size of the frame is very big, right? Let us reduce the size of the frame. And you know how to do that by hitting Control or Command on your keyboard, and we are going to resize the size of the frame. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same with our Nike Impact for all these. Let me go ahead and rename this as texts. Okay, let us do the same with our texts as well. We are going to go ahead and select all of these elements inside the text. Now we are going to click over here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Click over here. Hit space bar on your keyboard and let's move this up. Okay. To bring the second name. So the name of this particular shoes, it's going to be Nike Air Max 1. Now let's go ahead and do the same with our prices as well. Okay. We are going to change the price. Click on this element. Hit space bar. Hit Shift so that it aligns properly in a straight line. And we are going to push up our second element. Okay. So these are the changes that we have created. Now what we are going to do is we are also going to go ahead and create the copies out of these shoes as well. Okay. And to do that, let us go to our images and we are going to select these two, these two, these two, and these two as well. Okay. Let's hit copy. Choose and create right away. Alright, so now we have selected all the shoes and placed it properly, evenly in our frame. Let's go ahead and create a group out of it. First, what we are going to do, we are going to turn this into a frame. And to do that, you have to hit Alt, Command and G. Once that is done, let's name this. Okay, so now we have got Nike 01, 02 and 03. Okay, let's go ahead, click on the group on Nike 01. Let's select on all of the images, and now we are going to hit on space bar, click on this, hit space bar and move it to a different shoe size. Okay, let us actually reduce the size of our frame by slightly so much, and we are going to place these shoes. Alright, let's go ahead and create a copy out of it. Okay. so those are the all the 5 frames that we have created. Let's go ahead and rename these frames, and this is going to be Nike 02. Let's start from right over here. Alright, so finally we have designed all the 5 frames, and in next video we are going to prototype these frames. Okay, so that is it from this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye and take care. Alright, welcome back. So in this video we are going to go ahead and prototype finally all of these designs together. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into today's video. So let's go ahead and first select the prototype tab over here, and now what we are going to do is let's select our elements that we want to prototype. Okay, so I want this slider to be prototyped properly. Okay, so for that what I am going to do is I'm going to click on each of these elements and I'm going to create a prototype out of it. Okay, so for this element I'm going to prototype for this particular frame, right? And it's going to be on click, navigate to, I don't want it to be instance, I want it to be smart animation. Let's give it a slow animation of 1300 ms. Okay, and that's going to be our template. Let's go ahead and select this particular one now, and we are going to animate it to this particular one. Let's keep it ease in and out. Okay, now finally the last 2 frames, double click on this and we are going to animate this to this one. Okay, now the last frame, let's click on it and let's zoom out, and yes, that is going to be that. Let's go ahead and do the same for all the other shoes as well. I'm going to select on this one, zoom out and place it to this particular frame. Let's go to this particular one and then add it to this particular frame. Double click on this and place it right about here. Right about here. Okay, and let's keep doing the same. Okay, we are going to select $500 and $500. Alright, now let's go ahead and try out our animation. Wow, so it looks wonderful now. Okay, you can actually go ahead and tweak it according to your preference. Okay, it's going to take a little time, but I think you get the concept. Okay, alright, so that is it from this video. Hope you liked the video. Namaste ji, this is Vish, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.